some sort of cosmological restriction. I don't really
It
see any
just
proof that
it,
it can look into a
it's generalized. When we use words like all, it's
generalized.
generalized.
I
I
mean,
don't know
you
what you
can
mean.
have a generalized doesn't really clarify anything because I can have a generalized statement within some sort of set frameworks. Like for example, I can have a generalized statement in reference
And
to
when
like
we're talking about,
physicality.
okay, yeah, hold on, to clarify, when we're talking about the framework there, when we're talking about the framework, what framework do you think would be probable in this instance?
What do I think would be
I think
probable?
there would be a reference to the framework of the universe, or like what is contained, what is
Okay, so
knowledgeable, and the reason
cosmological.
why is they transcend the cosmology. I also think that by nature, logic would have to exist under that cosmology. So I just said
Under
that if they transcend everything in the verse, I think they'd just be like able to do anything, bro.
that
Logically
would
speaking,
number one. When you say under, are you like saying it exists within or like actually under as a prerequisite?
exist in.
Okay. I mean, I don't see why it being some sort of overarching framework within the cosmology means you necessarily transcend it. Like, it can just be the case that this cosmology exists and, or doesn't exist, but the logic would still exist. Because it's
The
not some sort of,
cosmology. What is you
yeah,
talking
it's
about?
like,
Can you clarify what that means?
yeah, basically, in short, I'm just saying that if it's the case that logic or this universe doesn't entail, or this logic doesn't entail being can't or what's the word for it? My bad. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Um, if it's a case that logic exists, if and only if the world exists, then yeah, I can grant your character can do anything
What?
logically possible. But if we
Bro,
can get
repeat
some,
what you just said.
yeah,
Repeat
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
I'm
just
saying
said.
that. Yeah, I'm saying if it's the case that if logic exists, if and only if the cosmology exists, I can grant that. But
You're saying
I need
that.
to
So
slow
you're
down for
saying.
the question.
What do you mean if and only if? Are you saying that would have to necessarily be the case that logic exists for the character to transcend the cosmology?
No, no, no. I'm saying that if you're asserting that the character or logic needs the cosmology to exist,
The
then yeah, I can
knowledge.
grant
Okay, you're saying
that.
logic needs the cosmology to exist.
No, I'm saying if that's what you're saying, then yeah, I can. I guess I would say
Uh,
I'll probably
I
argue
think
it, but
yes.
if that case,
I
then
think that for author to create a narrative, I think they will have to follow under a logical framework.
my bad. Could you repeat that?
I think if an author is trying to create a narrative, I think he will have to follow under a logical format. I don't see the relevance. I don't see how this
I'm about to
responds to this
troll this
point.
bitch. I'm about to troll this bitch.
Let me see if the other one texted me. She
Yo,
did.
bro, I'm finna text
That
that
bitch
that
say,
that
"Oh,
uh,
okay,
I'm finna text that Zaynaya girl. I'm about to be like, yo, you first.
okay, bro, okay, bro, okay, okay, okay." Clap that
Okay, so
tea.
you say that the narrative has to use some sort of logical framework.
Yes.
No, no, I can grant that. That's not really what I'm asking. Basically,
Okay.
my argument is going to be if logic is derivative from the cosmology,
I'm about to
obviously,
troll this bitch.
further questioning, I would ask why it is. But if it is, then yeah, your character can be above logical frameworks or
I'm not
rule
making the
over.
claim that my character is above logical frameworks.
Yeah, 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 just be able to do anything
I
logically
want to send this
possible.
message.
But if it's the case, if it's, if
But
it's
I
the
don't see
case,
why these. I don't see why these. I don't. One. I don't see why these conditionals are. I
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah,
because I don't know why you're responding to this. I think given the argument that I think given the argument that was stated, I think we can deduct that my character can do anything that's logically possible. Given
no.
given the
Yeah,
argument, I
yeah,
don't see why
I'm
these
trying to
other
clarify.
conditions
Yeah,
are. You said what?
I'm trying to clarify. I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. So why wasn't my argument good enough?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just saying that in order for your character to be above the cosmology, entail that they're also ruling over logic or can do
No,
anything in
no,
logic. They have to
no, no, no,
entail that.
wait, stop, right? Stop right there. You're misconstruing it. It's not saying that they rule over logic. They just can do anything under logic. So, like,
Yeah, yeah,
for an, so
yeah,
you get it, right? So, what
yeah,
was the
yeah.
second point?
let's say do anything logically possible. Is that fine?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm basically
Yes.
just saying, unless logic is derivative from the
What do you mean
cosmology, then
derivative?
comes from
Unless logic comes from wouldn't the story have to come from logic or be derived from logic? Is that what you mean?
the story. No, I'm saying if logic exists, if and only if the
What?
cosmology
You said it only exists if the cosmology wants it
causes it.
or causes it. So you're saying that for one more time, repeat the argument.
Yeah, my argument is just saying that in order for your character to transcend the cosmology also entails them being able to do anything logically possible, would just mean that the logic would have to be derivative of this said cosmology. If it's not, then I don't see the reason for why transcending the cosmology means
But
having the ability over all logic.
no, I think the argument will still follow, but it doesn't have to be derivative or it doesn't have to be derived from the. I think it's the other way around. I think the narrative is derived from logic. So like, I think it's the other way around. But either way, logic is an essential property under this framework. So either way, the argument still follows. You can't remove or have the narrative without logic. I don't think that's the case. So if that is the case, it would be logical or
I'm
necessary.
not disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying
You
is
said what?
Um, what I'm just asking is why. Obviously, logic can be essential. Like, I'm just saying, is it
What?
essential in this sense? Yeah, basically, in short, what I'm just saying is that I don't see a reason for why we should accept that just because a character transcends the cosmology. If the cosmology given
Bro,
cosmology entails this character can do
the
anything logically
cosmology
possible.
doesn't need to, bro. The cosmology doesn't need to cause logic, right? The
So then,
thing
why?
is, my character. I'm just saying that my character can still do anything logically possible, even if logic caused the cosmology. I'm just saying, right, that if your character transcend the cosmology itself, which portrays or refers to the structure of a verse, the power system, things that are being derived from the author, the narrative, things that are nature, etc. The only thing that is left that to exist, the only limiter he has, is logic itself. He cannot transcend logic, right? So
Wait, I just disagree.
it's like reaching a set of levels.
I just
If level
disagree.
5, go ahead.
I kind of disagree with that. My bad for cutting you off, but I think since a cosmology is just going to be inherently counterfactual, I think transcending it, obviously, it's going to, relative to that world, it's going to make you be able to do anything, but within a logical framework, I think you'd have to be on the level of some sort of necessity, but transcending something counterfactual doesn't really put you anywhere because, in a sense, we all
What do you mean
transcend
counterfactual?
something that could have non existed or contingent.
No. Okay, okay, I think what I'm getting from your argument is that it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I understand because it for certain verses it can have different requirements. But I'm giving you the argument that my character will be capable of doing anything logically the case within his verse, given the fact that they have no limits. So it doesn't have to be applicable outside of the verse. I'm just using this to chain scale to external or to internal things within the verse.
Oh, I mean, if he's able to do anything like logically possible within the verse, I can grant that because
Yeah.
that's still
Yes.
specific
Okay. So
counterfactual.
I think my character has the red key. Do you know what the
The
red key
what?
is? The red
Nope.
key.
Nope.
The red key is capable of destroying any defensive concept, no matter what it is.
The what?
The red key, it can destroy any defensive concept, no matter like the structure of like the property. Let me just send the scan.
It
So
can
it can be
destroy.
abstract.
I
Yeah, it
can.
can destroy any. It can be
How
abstract or
can you?
anything. You just can't use any defensive things at all.
You agree destruction is some sort of has some sort of causal influence?
The cause will be the character, the creator.
No, 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 no. I'm asking, do you agree that in order for destruction to exist,
There's an inference. There's a correlation. There's an inference.
you, so how can you causally destroy something abstract?
How can I causally destroy something that's abstract?
Yeah.
Because I think that abstract, or I think that cause and effect still applies to abstract things, unless you're affirming that these abstract things or you're defining them in the sense that they don't go through change.
I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of
What?
analytic,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
No, no, no,
also
no, 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 no. There's no. That's not analytic. Under a specific branch,
can I finish?
you don't have to. You don't have to finish. But I think the statement isn't referring to things that are abstract in the sense that they don't go through change, and I don't think it's analytical either.
What's it referring? Number one, that's fine. It can be non-analytical under certain frameworks, but under my framework, it is. But
I don't see why we should
what
appeal
is
to your framework. Your framework. I don't
that's
care if I don't care about your
that's fine.
framework. I don't think
Fine.
your. I don't. Hold on, wait. Let me say this real quick. Let me say this to respond to that.
No, no, no.
One,
I don't.
your
I
framework.
don't need a response. I'm just gonna ask
I
why.
most definitely need a response to that. But anyways,
It's not a debunking argument. Like you don't really need to respond. It doesn't really defeat anything you said. I'm just pointing that out.
okay, bro. Do you want to move on? If you just pointed out,
No, no,
it doesn't matter.
on like thing out. But
What is the
what definition?
contradiction?
Okay.
My fault. Go ahead,
Um.
bro.
Yeah. What definition? What the hell? What definition?
Man, you
Is
feel some type of way.
What definition of abstract am I using?
Man, you feel some type of
yeah.
way.
Copyright.
Or what is the scan using within this
Some type of
context?
way.
I think the scan would be in reference to like the most normative definition of abstract, and obviously something that wouldn't contradict the information that's being given. So that definition that you're utilizing contradicts
Man, you
the
feel some type of way.
material of this narrative. So I don't think it would be likely for the author to utilize that at all. But
Okay. So
I said the definition. I think the definition that's more applicable is something
I
that's
hope I don't know
existing
these.
in thought or as an idea, but not having a physical or concrete existence.
Won't let the
okay, you
juice
think that's the
control
most
me.
normative definition?
You said well.
You think that's the most normative definition?
I do believe it is a normative definition, very normative.